These two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. How the fuck's that even happen? They're two grown men on a mission now, so buckle up and just strap in.
Hey, things are better if I stay. So long and good night. So long and good night.
Two grown men had never seen The Simpsons. It's America's Barley Basket.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of America's Barley Basket. I'm your host, Marlon Wells, alongside host Nathan Fulsabach. Hello, Nathan.
Hello, Marlon.
How are you?
It's a little podding after dark.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here. I got my weekend pants on.
Are those your weekend jeans?
These are my weekend jeans. Yeah.
I don't wear jeans on the weekend. I don't wear jeans, period.
Got a big
these
jean.
days.
We got a denim boy. Got a denim daddy.
Like, I own a few pairs, but, like, I very rarely wear jeans. We've talked about it before. I have fully accepted a slacks lifestyle.
Slacks and shorts.
Yep.
See, a lot of shin. You're a little more brazen with your body than I am. I'm a little more demure.
Yeah, you're a little you're a shy boy. Not my legs.
You do get to see a little bit of cankle skin with me.
Yeah, I know. I get a little bit.
You deserve a treat. You're showing the goods off to me.
I agree.
I owe it to you. Give you 3 inches of kank.
I'm not. I'm not asking too much.
Just now I'm picturing a middle-aged man at a peep show booth looking at man's cankles.
Yeah, you would be arrested if you were a lady in the 20s.
Yeah.
You harlot.
Yeah. When he reaches for his pocket watch, it pulls up an extra half inch. Look at the sinewy leg hairs.
3 inches of kank.
Holy shit, that is a porn mag.
Oh,
that is
God.
a very specific audience.
Oh, shit.
Taking pictures of men that aren't realizing they're getting photographed showing off their fat fucking stovepipe legs.
Also, kank sounds like a D-level Spider-Man villain.
Or a D-level fake slime from Nickelodeon. If you don't say the secret word, you get kanked.
Oh, no, I don't want to get kanked. Nobody does.
Nobody wants to get kanked.
I'm over here like I am every week in fucking basketball shorts and a sleeveless button-down shirt. You know how I roll.
Oh.
You know what to expect when you come to my apartment at this point.
No. Business cash and awkward sexual situations.
Awkward for who?
Let's take a bath.
I'm fine. Yeah, let's.
You're right. I'm in my element. You're too stuffed up.
This is my home.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get gussied up for company. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Coming into my apartment all tarted up, wearing your weekend pants.
With your kanks.
Yeah, showing off all that cake.
Bringing that kank in here.
Now you're going to be modest when I got the bath nice and warm. You're going to play hard to get at tub time? The die is cast. The tub is poured.
Got that weird bathtub plank with some assorted cheeses and a candle on it. Crawl in, buddy.
Just one comically large dildo and a revolver. Like, what kind of night did you have planned? Well, first off, I wasn't expecting company.
I forgot we were podcasting today.
There's be a little Sunday wind down.
Only one bullet in this revolver. What are you doing?
A 175 a rail gin beside the tub. Man, that ain't a bad way to go out. Gin drunk in a bathtub, your just head slips below the level.
Pretty sure that's how Morrison did it, isn't it?
Did he die in the tub?
I think so.
That sounds right.
Yep.
Yeah. He wine drunk or was he a hard liquor guy?
I have no idea. I don't like the Doors enough to know that much about John.
We've come to a consensus that we are not those boys.
John Morrison. He's the wrestler.
God, imagine, you're fucking wasted on wine if you're just dying in the tub. Like,
yeah. That's a lot of wine you got in you.
Yeah, and that fucking tub water's at least 15% dookie spray at that point because you ain't drinking that much grapes and having it settle politely inside you, you know? Like, you're already floating in warm water. My God, I almost want to shit my pants right now thinking about it.
Who's the old like Silver Age actor who in between gigs would just be a wreck in a fucking hotel bathtub. Spencer Tracy.
Oh, really?
That old actor from like the 50s or 60s. He would like finish filming, and then he had a fucking steam chest, like a Foot Locker chest full of booze, and he would check himself into this hotel, and he would drag the chest into the bathroom.
That's something.
Run a hot bath and sit in it and drink and shit and hurl in the tub, and occasionally fucking he'd pass out and wake up and fucking drain the tub and fill it back up again.
Oh my God.
And do that for weeks at a time until somebody came like, well, we got to hose off fucking Spencer.
Yeah, it's time for your next picture.
Yeah, we got 7 days to dry Spencer out.
Yeah.
Fuck, what a life.
You're fucking dying drunk off sloppy gin, and then 48 hours later, you're playing Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
That's a showman.
Yeah.
That's talent. Married to Katharine Hepburn, I believe.
Okay, that sounds right.
I always like I think of her, and also it's Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall were married, where like the actress outlives the actor by like 55 years. They're like a widow at 28.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I think that Lauren Bacall was alive within the last 10 years, and she was married to Humphrey fucking Bogart. Eisenhower was president when Bogart died. That's nuts. Like,
yeah, fucking fellas lived hard back then.
yeah.
And not like in a good, fun way.
Yeah. Yeah, right. No, that fucking Spencer Tracy's just depressing.
Yeah,
Like,
no kidding.
Just fucking laying in a ton of awesome thing to do. Picture being at work and that's what you look forward to. Like, oh man, if I could only drink like 4 gallons of rail rum in a fetid bathtub. No music, nothing, just sitting with
Just
my
in
thoughts.
A cast iron clawfoot tub full of lukewarm room temp water, just dumping and hurling into this fucking tub, and occasionally fucking running fresh water and stomping down the
Jesus,
goop and
just
cracking
fucking
a fresh
furious
bottle.
when you gotta fucking be like, oh, I ain't got the energy for this.
Oh no! Don't come get because that was somebody's job to go get Spencer
Some
Tracy.
fucking RKO fucking PA or whatever the term for it was back then. Like some 17-year-old had to fucking fish him out of a poo-poo tub and fucking wipe him down, read him his lines.
Yeah.
You're due on set in 45 minutes. You go out there and nail it.
Oh God, you got to be Julius Caesar by this time tomorrow, Spencer. I'm gonna need you to get it together.
Just in an emergency room getting his stomach pumped in a goddamn fucking Cleopatra costume. We dressed him beforehand. That cuts down the time.
Oh God, it was just wild fucking times in Hollywood.
What a time. The golden years.
The golden years.
The golden era of Hollywood.
The golden age of cinema. I ate a banana earlier and I have banana mouth. I have like that film.
Banana gums.
Yep, I got banana gums. I got the film. Bananas, delicious. Maybe my favorite fruit out there, but something about that.
But
not a
just
fan.
like Spencer Tracy, here you are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hosed off.
The call time was a certain time, and you were here. Are you covered in banana juice? You sure are.
That's my Spencer Tracy. Is I ate a banana earlier.
You laying in the tub eating a whole fucking thing of bananas. Fucking Diddy Kong over here, living the dream. You and a half red tea with a little fucking red baseball cap in the bathtub eating bananas.
No bottoms, just the tea.
Is there? It just banana peels floating in the water.
Boy, I don't know how many bananas I could eat in a sitting if you put a gun to my head. I bet it's only about 3 before I'm like, hey, you gotta shoot me, dog.
Yep. Oh, I think we've discussed on this podcast the time when I ate roughly 20 bananas in a day because that's what I could afford.
20 bananas?
Bananas are on sale. I will eat bananas for every meal.
God damn it. 20 in a day.
Think of how much of a potassium overload that is on your body is panicking when you have that much potassium.
There's only like 5 or 6 in a bundle.
Yep. Yeah, I'd eat 3 bundles in a day then.
That's insane.
Yeah, I remember one time, just because it was funny, eating a whole bundle like in like a half-hour lunch break. Because everyone else was eating meals, I'm just peeling like fucking Donkey Kong, just peeling bananas, just shoving them down.
Refusing to lose eye contact, just staring people down.
Look at me.
Watch me eat this banana.
You like how baby eats nanas?
You're slapping the ground like Donkey Kong.
All excited. Got a fucking bow tie or a tie on. No shirt. If you opened your apartment door and I was in the hallway naked with just a tie on, eating bananas and slapping the floor, that is traumatizing. You're not forgetting that.
I'm getting back in the tub. Yeah. Fuck this shit.
You just quietly lock the door, get back in the tub.
Back in my dump tub.
I hope no one cleaned my dump tub. It's seasoned how I like it.
Like a pan.
You know who I'm pretty sure don't shit in the tub?
Who's that?
The Simpsons.
Well, fucking king of the segues over here.
In the tub. He's had some rough ones.
Oh yeah,
he's tied some dirty ones. Sure.
I think by accident.
Yeah,
like,
these are accidental
like
dumps.
one slipped.
Yeah,
a whoopsie doodle.
We've all been there.
He had a couple whoopsie doodles in the tub. We've all been there.
Oh man!
You act like that happened yesterday.
Who has not? He who has not shit in the tub shall cast the first stone.
That was something I didn't realize kids did until talking with like my friends who have kids, like toddlers, like. Oh, they're 2. They shat in the tub. Of course they did.
My brother taking a big dump in the tub while I was in there with him, and me cheering and celebrating. Mom, he did it! No, and she's like, "Get out! Why are you still in there?" Like, oh yeah,
that was just the other day.
Just caught up in the spirit of things. Someone shits in the tub. It's party time.
Get that tattooed across your collarbones.
Party hasn't started until someone shits in the tub.
Oh, God.
So it's Valentine's Day in Springfield.
Hell yeah, it is.
Homer stops at Moe for a quick one before heading home.
Fucking amateur. This is episode 13, The Blue and the Gray.
Yep.
You fucking up. You're all gin drunk.
I'm all tub drunk. Like I drank too much water earlier today. Episode 13, The Blue and the Gray. It's the Blue and the Gray. That's just a Civil War callback. Is that all that is?
I assume so, yeah.
It's like, am I missing something there? But yeah. It's Valentine's Day in Springfield. Homer stops in Moe's for a quick one before heading home. And we see that, surprise, surprise, Moe doesn't have any Valentine's Day plans.
Mm-hmm.
Homer and Marge sure do, because we see the aftermath of it, and they got after it.
Good for them.
Homer in a tux.
Yeah.
That is getting after it for Valentine's Day. What were they up to that required a tuxedo?
Well, he couldn't wear anything that required a necktie because we see where his necktie's at.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They got. Someone read something in a magazine. Marge got a wild hair up her ass. So Homer.
Good for them. Yeah. When they wake up and Homer goes dashing out of bed only to realize that he's got an ankle tied to the bedpost, and they like exchange that look like, oh yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Forgot about that, didn't we? Like, good for them.
And I did like Homer, because he's Homer, attempts to chew his leg off. Only 127 more hours.
Unbelievable.
And it's around this time during all this hijinks that Marge notices her first gray hair. And right away, she's alarmed slightly, but it's like she doesn't freak out then, but we know that's going to become a thing that's going to grow throughout this episode.
Was this a day for you? Did you catch your first and you were like, what the fuck? Or did you have a few before you noticed?
Yep. I've always just like, it's just a gradual tide that I notice more and more of. Okay. Really noticed it in the chin lately.
I haven't noticed any on the top because I got like blonde hair and it's pretty fine, so it's tough to spot a single. But I've noticed a couple on the chin, and it's like, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm almost dead.
The decline begins.
I'm climbing this tub.
Hopefully, I want a wheelchair that could just flip me into my tub when it's time to go.
Just roll off the toilet and land in the tub.
Bring me where I was happiest. My gin tub. So Moe, he's not happy with his lack of any kind of enjoyment in life. So he decides to go to a dating class, how to pick up women, ran by someone named Dr. Kissing Her.
So dumb.
Yep. It's basically like a hookup class, like teach you how to meet women.
Yeah.
And there's a good thing where it's like he'll teach you how like describe yourself, and then I will explain to you what words to use, because it's like I think it's Willy who says something kind of scary and depressing, and it's like he just changes the words to it to make it sound like, because he's something with killing animals, and it's like, I love animals to death.
Yeah, that's a fun spin on what Willy does for a living.
And then when Mo walks up, the guy's like, "Oh, monsters in here! Get him out of here!" He's like, "Oh, that was unprofessional."
Insane.
And he gives an explanation of like, "Well, how would you describe yourself?" The fucking things that fucking Mo rattles off. Around that time, I dabbled in Satanism till I was kicked out.
Yep.
He didn't make the cut as a Satanist. It was, and that's when the guy is just like, okay, you are unsalvageable, so you're gonna need to get a wingman.
Your only hope is the wingman method.
Which he explains how that's gonna work. Is that a thing that people do? Like, we're gonna go out tonight, I'm gonna meet babes, you're gonna be my wingman.
I have no idea. I don't go out to meet babes, so I've never been a hunter in a romantic context. So I assume, like, you see enough of this shit in media that it must be a thing. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Someone out there's doing this. Just baffling to me.
It's like hopscotch. I've seen it enough to where it's got to be real, even if I've never seen it with my own eyes.
This wasn't just created.
Right. A writer didn't invent hopscotch.
So Mo decides that Homer is the only guy that can be more hopeless than him, so he'd be a good wingman. So he sets it up with Homer. Meanwhile, Marge goes to her hairdresser to cover up the gray, and that's when the hairdresser lets her know, honey, you've been gray for a long time.
Yeah, he's been doing this for a while now.
Parts her hair, which is a good visual. And like the center cone of the Marge dome is purely gray.
Yeah.
So he's just been dyeing the outer third roughly. Well,
I think she hasn't been there in a long time, and those are her roots that have grown in. I think that's how I took it.
Yeah. So was baffled by this and has a lot to grasp. Like, okay, well, let's just get back to how it was. But during this time, a woman comes in with naturally gray hair. She seems very confident. She has a husband that adores her. They get in a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, that's okay. I'm gonna take a walk around the block with my husband that I love so much, and he's right there. Like, are you coming, darling?
Not the last hot air balloon we'll see.
Yeah, we get a little bit of hot air balloon in this one. So Marge, by God, she's going to mix things up and decides to embrace going gray with a new, mature look.
Also, she doesn't remember that he's been dyeing her hair gray because the fumes from the dye erase her memory every time. Yeah. He explains this whole thing he's been doing.
Yeah, all that the real deal hair shit does have a stink.
Oh yeah, man, hair dye is a whole thing.
You walk into a house where one of your aunts is getting a perm, you know what's going on immediately.
Hair smells like hair.
Someone's getting curled up. Someone's back on the market getting curled up.
putting fresh meat on an old hook, huh?
Hey, play on, player. Me at 7 telling one of my aunts that.
I think you're about due for a dye job.
I'm due for a fucking perm, bro. Fucking just some tight gentleman's curls.
You ever sit in one of them perm chairs, the blower chairs? They're a motherfucker. It's hot in there.
Oh, really?
I've done a couple. Most recently when I got my hair dyed, they wanted to speed up the drying process or the curing process, whatever. So put a plastic cap over your hair and have you go sit in that fucking thing. A, it's loud. You can't hear yourself think. Shit. B, it is the hottest air you've ever had everywhere around you. I thought I was going to die.
I dyed my hair once. I don't remember that. It might have happened, though. It's just been a long time ago.
I'm like, this is how I go out. I'm going to fucking sweat to death in this fucking torture chair.
Wrapped in a pink table cover, just like fucking hair, and got a rubber glove on your head.
Yep. I'm going to go out looking good, but I'm going to go out, apparently.
Corpse has never been tighter.
Always thought I'd go out in the tub.
Yeah. But. His last words were gin tub. That was your rosebud. Chin tub. What could it mean?
I've never seen that movie. Is that any good?
It's one of those things, if you watch it now, it's like you can say, oh, he was ahead of his time with so many things.
Oh.
Like just the different editing, the storytelling, this and that, how the grandeur of it. But like, you've seen a million movies do it better now.
Sure.
The fucking movie's 80 years old.
I'm going to respect the talent involved, but I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about that's how I feel about the Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
Like, oh, good for them guys, but it's not my flavor.
So yeah, I think maybe I put it a step ahead of Dave Matthews, but I see what you're saying. Yeah.
In your global ranking system
Of all media.
Citizen Kane over Dave Matthews.
Over Beetle Bailey.
That'd be a fun podcast. Nathan ranks everything, and you just fucking pick a few things every week.
Man, just getting ulcers thinking of where I got to put Wizard of Id. Is Wizard of Id worse than Third Eye Blind? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know myself.
Oh, do I put Peanuts above or below Death Cab for Cutie?
Yeah.
I don't, man.
I don't know, it's making my head hurt. I've been blacking out lately. Gotta quit doing this podcast.
Man, I'd listen to that podcast. People just ranking shit.
Yeah, especially like a free for all. Like,
yeah,
you have to have some kind of argument where people can give their thoughts on why it's not.
It almost needs to be a 3-person one, so that there's always a ruling majority. And think of like if you do this like a handful of things every week. By a few weeks in, you're going to have a list, and then it becomes just moving this thing you're talking about up and down the list. Like, is it better than this thing that we've already placed on the list? And I think that sounds like fun. Like, are the Budweiser frogs better or worse than
Cyndi Lauper?
Than Leaving Las Vegas? Like, that's fun.
So the family is shocked by Marge's new do. Lisa, of course, is like, it's very empowering. You're embracing your natural look. And it's around this time, one of the bigger laughs, where Bart realizes, where does my hair begin? Because he's like, it's just head, hair.
Yeah.
Where does it start? And then it just fucking escalates. Now Lisa's like standing like, what? You're right. And then Maggie's feeling her head. She's
They're all freaking the fuck out.
And Marge doesn't even seem to give a shit because she's got her own things going on. At one time, Bart goes, what are we? Good God, did I laugh at that.
Lisa at one point snaps and just grabs that black marker and goes, screw it, I'm drawing a hairline. And she just draws this line with marker. Oh, God, what are we? Oh, shit, that's funny.
Homer, of course, lies and said he loves it, but he doesn't. Homer, I think it's convenient. Oh, I gotta go. I got plans. So he doesn't get stuck in an awkward conversation about Marge's hair. Goes on with Moe. Turns out Homer, stellar wingman.
Hell of a wingman.
Doing all the right things. Moe's meeting all sorts of pretty ladies. Doing what a wingman should, apparently. Cut to Lisa in the grocery store picking up People magazine. Let's see what cousin Jessica's up to. I thought that was a good
joke. That was a fun.
That didn't fit what was going on. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, just this one quick little throw. Like, Jessica Simpson is their cousin. Okay, all right.
While shopping at the grocery store, Marge gets a lot of kind of like backhanded compliments about her hair. Like, you're so brave. I could never.
The audacity, one of them just says. Yeah.
And they assume she's an AARP, and that's really when things fucking.
It's during that sequence of people giving her backhanded shit. Fucking Ralphie looks up at her and goes, Grandma had hair like that when she went to sleep in her Forever box.
And he's just standing in front of like the freezer section in full winter wear.
Yep.
Is he hanging out there? It appears to be. I don't see his mom anywhere.
Went to sleep in her Forever box is pretty fucking good.
That was a good. We got a couple good Ralphie in this batch.
Such a perfect boy. I love him.
Sweet little boy. There's a scene where Marge, I think, is bringing them to school, and all the kids see the gray hair, and Bart gets just a little bit of ribbon about it, not a whole lot, but he fucking knocking the goddamn teeter-totter on top of him. You can kill a child doing that. Christ, he
Milhouse catches a beat down.
Beats the fucking brakes off poor Milhouse.
Because he's like, I used to think your mom was hot, and Bart hits him. Don't say that. Yeah. But now I don't. Don't say that either. Yeah. Like, Bart is so conflicted.
Yeah. So after beating the shit out of Milhouse, Bart has to go to the school psychiatrist. During this time, Marge goes and visits Patty and Selma, and I think it's like a frozen yogurt shop. That sound right?
I think that's later, but maybe. Yeah. Like, we focus on the froyo later in a different episode.
And that's where we find out that Patty and Selma have like blonde and brunette hair. It's the color it is because of all the secondhand smoke
and ash.
Ash. What a thing to have enough ash to color your hair.
Yeah, they don't have gray blue hair. They are blonde and like light brown.
You're right. This is a coffee shop.
Okay.
This is at.
Yeah, it's like their fake Starbucks.
Yep. Because this is where it kind of amps up because Marge overhears a couple of young women like, "Do you think Homer's going to be at the club?"
Yeah.
And that's when Marge is now fucking. Things are getting real. So she hops in her fucking car and is hauling ass there. Has a series of mishaps to make her look like fucking Broomhilda.
Yeah.
Like fucking looks like a witch.
Gets like some bramble, tears her dress, and then her hair's all crazy. Yeah. And then she's got cats following her.
Her
around.
Mascara hits her tooth, so she has looks like she's missing a tooth.
Yeah. Yeah, she goes through some shit.
And we get a good scene where we find out there are two competing Palais guys.
Yeah.
One at the bar and one has like something right outside the bar.
One's a valet and one's something else. Yeah. One's the bouncer maybe.
Well, the one that we know is the valet. The bouncer's a bigger, younger one.
And it was funny because like when she first talks to that bouncer, like he has the Pally voice, and I was like, that's lazy. Come on, get a different voice in there. But then like the camera kind of pulls back, and they're talking to each other in the same voice, kind of razzing each other.
Yeah. We find out they don't appear to be friends.
No.
They are rivals. So Marge does get to the club. She looks like a goddamn wreck, bursts in, and she's initially furious at Homer because women are just flocking to him.
Yeah.
You know, like they like him. And then when Homer explains the situation and how he's the perfect wingman because he's not tempted at all because he's got such a wonderful lady back at home.
Aww.
They are back to being the best couple on television again.
Yep.
This is the show they didn't want people to watch. Unbelievable. So the Simpsons are back at home. Marge has went back to a blue hair, and all is right in the world.
Yep. They made it.
Very good episode.
I liked this one a lot.
I had some big laughs in this one.
There are so many good jokes early on in this episode, too. Like the fucking chalkboard gag, which is Bart writing over and over, "I will not make fun of Cupid's dink," which dink is such a good word that you never hear.
I forget. Sometimes he's naked.
Yeah. Yep. And I was just happy to see the word dink because you never see it. We briefly see Lenny and Carl dating each other's sisters.
Yeah.
And Carl being like, what could be better than my best friend's face on a woman's body? Yeah. Like, those two have so many things to work out.
It's a very, what those sisters look like.
Yeah. Because they are just drawn as lady versions of the two of them. Fucking Moe at the beginning of this episode, but right before Homer leaves, when he's got that special Valentine's drink that is a splash of Jaeger in some pink lemonade and then slice up some strawberry chapstick and calls it Cupid's Ambrosia. What an awful drink.
Yeah. Him lopping up the chapstick was a good visual.
Like it's a carrot, like little thin slices of chapstick. Fucking A, that was funny.
I can't think of the last time I don't use chapstick much at all, but they have flavored chapstick. But I remember the smell of it from being a kid, like smelling strawberry chapstick.
I was always and still am an original guy.
Yeah, I had to buy something.
I don't want the cherry or whatever. I want the black stick.
If you grow up in a non-winter area, do you just never see chapstick your entire life?
I think whether you live in a cold area or not, you're supposed to take care of your lips. I think you get dry lips anywhere.
Really? For me, it's only in the winter does it get bad enough. But
For me also.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't
We're not
be.
doing it right. Yeah,
Right, yeah. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be conditioning your lips year round. You got to take care of them smoochers, Nathan. You'll lose them. Someday you'll be an old man just wishing you'd have taken care of your lips.
Gumming them ladies.
Gumming them ladies is a phrase I don't much care for.
You know who else doesn't? The ladies. That's why I've been gumming myself.
Why do you put your hand up to your mouth every time?
I'm projecting.
It's a microphone. You don't...
Point taken.
You sound like Oprah.
I kind of do.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
God damn it. Jaeger and pink lemonade and sliced up chapstick.
So it's lemon with licorice and like medicinal strawberry flavor.
Mm-hmm. Should make some of those. Yeah. We should try it.
Holy fuck. I'd have one.
All right. Yeah, I would have one too. I hate lemonade. So
really? Oh.
I'm not a lemonade guy.
I'm a lemonade guy.
I'm an iced tea boy. I fall on the brown side of the fight.
Yeah. It's like your tub water. Lemonade, you're more brown town.
Leave me alone. I'm in the brown side. Oh, God. Episode 14 is Angry Dad, the movie. When I first saw this title, I was like, what the fuck? And it took me so long to, like, get to remember this. It was very cool.
All the way back in season 13.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
We get an elaborate, long, itchy and scratchy cartoon to start off that's like Kill Bill, kind of.
Has to be the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, same here. This is where we get the gang out at the Froyo joint.
Yep.
While Bart is home alone. You a Froyo guy?
No, I don't. I have had it so few times in my life, I can't even give you an answer. I mean, I like dairy treats. Mm-hmm. I guarantee I've had frozen yogurt 5 times or fewer.
In this kind of place, like serve yourself, add some
Can you buy it at a grocery store?
Yeah, you can buy like a carton of frozen yogurt or whatever.
We're ice cream people, but...
I mean, I would prefer ice cream, but like...
Is there a noticeable difference?
Yeah.
Is there? Yeah.
But like... You go to these Froyo places for that whole thing of like, I'm going to get this flavor with this in it and this kind of like most of them are self-serve. Like there's just all these soft serve machines.
Oh, no kidding.
And you go put it in a bowl and like, okay, I got strawberry. And then you go to the like buffet bar of toppings. I'm going to put some
sprinkles,
gummy bears in there.
Ooh, menthol cough drops.
Ooh, yay.
Chunky. Chocolate ice cream with menthol cough drops in it.
Actually, like mint and chocolate go together. That could maybe work.
Opening my sinuses.
This goes straight to my sinuses.
You know who we get in this that we haven't got a lot of recently? Squeaky Teen Boy.
Yeah. Oh, I meant to mention in that last episode, the sea captain is at the seminar that the dating guy is running. Yep. No speaking part, but he's in the background.
He's at least on camera.
Yeah, and we had just talked, I think, last week about when's the last time we saw the sea cat. Well, there he is.
He's in a crowd later in this batch, too.
But still doesn't speak. We should go get some Froyo sometime. It's good.
Oh, no, I'm intrigued.
What a thing to be intrigued by. Not like who really got to Kennedy, but like
what I like
Froyo about.
Are these numbs?
Oh, that's too many sprinkles in my birthday cake frozen yogurt.
Just pushing it off the table, and I go sit in the car.
There's no cough drops here at all. Candy corn, ew. Oh, fuck. So Bart destroys the house while everyone is at Froyo. And Homer and the rest of the family get home, and they're dressing Bart down about this fucking house that he's destroyed. He fucking ruined that house.
Totals
you
that
gotta
house.
move out of that house.
Yeah, that house gets knocked down.
Christ. And that's when a man comes to the door looking for whoever made Angry Dad. And then we get kind of a reminder of what Angry Dad was, and thank God, because I had forgotten.
Oh, man, yeah.
But that's that web cartoon that Bart invented where he draws Homer badly, and it was 1999, so web cartoons were relevant. And so we get the rundown here is that this man owns the chair company that all of these .com people bought chairs from, but then the .com bubble burst and he never got paid for the chairs, so now he owns the web cartoons.
What a way to get this back into
unbelievable. Actually, totally believable, totally grounded. That's a thing that could happen.
And they're trying to look how to monetize these cartoons.
Like, we don't have any money, but you own our IPs now. That's how shit happens. That's how, like, Death Row Records is owned by Hasbro, you know? That's a real thing.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Somewhere in all the corporate mergers, Death Row Records is owned by the company that makes Mr. Potato Head.
Terrific. But didn't Snoop Dogg just buy it?
Oh, did he? Is that new?
Just new. Very new.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for him.
If you notice, if you see him in any, because Snoop Dogg's not afraid of cameras. he'll pop
Snoop
up.
Dogg loves cameras.
He'll be on fucking Kelly Ripa's morning show tomorrow probably, but he's now always wearing big Death Row medallions and stuff because that's his.
Good for him.
Got it back.
Well, fucking Suge's in jail, so you may as well. Didn't he, like, fucking kill somebody with his car during the filming of Straight Outta Compton because they wouldn't let him on set?
Yep. It was some kind of vehicular assault. Yeah. It's two words that shouldn't go together.
Vehicular and assault. Suge Knight's a scary dude.
Yep.
A legit scary dude.
Suge, if you listen to the podcast, love and respect.
Yep. Big Rams fan.
Yep.
Always have been. So now this guy who owns this chair company owns all the IP, and they're going to make the Angry Dad into a movie. Homer is... They go visit this place where they're going to make the movie. They're talking to all the animators, and the one animator's like, I'm in charge of animating your ass. Can you provide me any tips or anything? Homer fucking stuffs a deck of cards down the back of his pants and shuffles them with his ass, which is very funny.
And cuts it, too. Like, it's very professional.
And cuts it. Like does the bridge. Like, what the and then fucking opens a Coke bottle with his butthole. So that's definitely something that someone somewhere can do.
Yep. For me, where I got like, well, this is just dumb, is when he drinks it with his ass.
I laughed at that because I'm a fucking simp. Because he offers it to the guy, just like, you want something? No, absolutely
you just
not.
Open it with your ass.
Oh, no, more for me. And then just butt chugs a glass bottle Coca-Cola. Good for him.
Yeah, you only live once. Drink treats through your butt.
I ain't here to judge you, Homer. Homer is going to be the voice actor to voice the character of Angry Dad. May as well, because it's about Homer. They have a final cut and they test it in front of a test audience, and the audience hates it a bunch.
They're like agitated.
Yeah, the one dude is like noticeably distraught.
Yeah, like, get me out of this place.
It's like he's watching
Turn it off.
World War II Pacific Theater torture footage. Yeah. Just like, oh God.
Yeah.
It's at this point Homer says, "It's okay, son. Everyone makes mistakes. Yours is just public and expensive."
Yeah.
That's fun. Lisa convinces him to make it into a short film. Like, cut out all the stuff that doesn't work, and what's left, you'll have a short film. Yeah. I have never once watched a short film, I don't think. Be it live action or animation. That is always a category of the Oscars that I have no skin in at all.
Yeah. I've watched like they'll sometimes release all the shorts that got nominated for Best Short.
Okay.
And they'll put that in the theaters. I've seen that a handful of times. And I've also had enough people that were were in film school, so I suffered through their classes.
Yeah, you run in more of a film cinema circle than I ever have.
You're more of a tub crowd. I've been in lots of bathtubs.
I've never seen a Spencer Tracy movie, but I know all that stuff about him.
You knew what model bathtub it was from the fucking police pictures. That's a Westinghouse 313. That's only released to hotels. That adds up.
That's a man that knows what he likes.
That's a commercial tub.
Look at him go. Oh, the claw feet on those. Look at him.
Yeah, meant to bear a lot of weight.
Cast iron, heavy bastard.
Built to last.
Yeah, built to dump it, apparently.
He's a true, he's a classic actor and a classic tub sitter.
I love that of all the through lines to have during an episode of this Simpsons podcast, it's Spencer Tracy's shit tub.
I like how it's been either called shit tub or gin tub. Yeah. So we have to take this back to the lab and settle on it. Spencer Tracy's been dead for 70 years.
Doesn't deserve this. Yeah. Let the man rest. Yeah.
His old bones are waking up. There's talk of shit tub.
Them old bones are gin soaked.
Yeah. Gelatinous.
In fetid diarrhea water.
What a way to go, though.
Angry Dad, the movie, the short film, is nominated for a Golden Globe. So they show up and go to the Golden Globes. They're walking the red carpet when the Pixar folks show up, like on scooters and Hawaiian
segways.
shirts.
Yeah,
like they're all cool. They're the cool guys. Yeah. And Randy Newman is there and sings a mean song about them. Like,
hit it, Randy.
Something about Randy Newman trying to be threatening is very funny to me.
An interesting little avenue he has made for himself in pop culture.
Yeah, like just movie songs and kid movie songs mostly.
And I think he maybe did have a couple top 40 hits prior to that.
I think you're right.
But it was he's kind of like he's like a less subversive, like Warren Zevon. Like he wrote kind of fun, interesting songs. But, like, obviously, he started doing Disney shit. Very palatable. He wasn't...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wide audience. Yeah.
There was a time where I once was trying to think of Gary Newman, but Googled Randy Newman and ended up with not the music I was looking for at all.
I bought all of his albums on vinyl.
I want it here in my car. Yeah. Gary Newman is fucking good.
Yep. Gary Newman was proof that you can dye your hair too many times and it'll just start falling out.
Oh.
It's a troublesome.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
He sang Cars.
Yeah.
Ironically, a Pixar movie. Yeah. Now that I think about it.
He's just sitting at home in his flat.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. How come I ain't getting in on this?
Is that your Gary Newman? Is that what he sounds like?
I had one shot at it, Marlon.
Yeah. Okay. You took it.
We don't plan this out in advance. I had no fucking clue Gary Newman was coming.
You haven't been working on your Gary Newman impression all week?
It's been weeks. It's the last time.
It was Valentine's Day when you told me be ready with a Gary Newman impression. I've worked on it this whole time.
Now it gets rusty. Now you expect me to break it out. I'm going to the gin tub.
Whew. So we're at the Golden Globes. Ricky Gervais is an asshole, which checks out.
Yeah.
I bet Ricky Gervais isn't a pleasant guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I do like he does dunk on himself a lot in this. Yes, I appreciate that.
Like, to be fair, he does joke at his own expense pretty well. I like a couple of things I've seen him in. I think The Invention of Lying is a horribly underrated comedy. I think that's very funny. I have
seen hardly anything with him in it.
Apparently people like that show he's on, that Life After Death. That's apparently like a really heartfelt, good show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't care for his stand-up that I've seen, but he's all right. I've seen a handful of episodes of the original Office. I like it about as much as the American Office, which, as we covered last week, is not at all.
Not your thing.
Yeah. Angry Dad wins the Golden Globes, and then it goes on to win a bunch of other awards, and at every award show, Homer is always hogging the glory.
There's a good gag where they must have won a Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Award.
Yeah.
And Homer's of course, grandstanding, and Bart's in the background. He gets slimed.
Yeah.
And then he also gets slimed at the Kennedy Center Honors.
That was fun.
That sliming made me laugh. Yeah. Getting slimed would suck.
Yeah, man.
In public. You got to go the rest of the night.
Yeah,
where am I going to go?
I can't get back in my car.
If you took a handful of gack and rubbed it in your hair right now, you're fucked. Like, what are you gonna do with all that? Like, it ain't coming out easy. Like,
fuck these kids and their award. I don't. Yeah.
I'm going home.
Just to watch somebody win one of those. Fucking Michael Cera gets gacked at the Kids' Choice Awards and loses his mind.
Pulls out a fucking gun. How did he get that in here?
Fuck these kids and their choice.
Screams until he gets just the lowly backstage guy that had to pull that lever. It's just like fucking making him beg. Like, it's like, I'm just doing what I was told,
Got him
man.
on his knees with a gun to
like,
his head.
it wasn't my idea. Like, this is my job. I'm sorry. Like,
Newscopters in the air. We're following them. Michael Cera drama at the Kids' Choice Awards.
appears he's taking a hostage.
Not a Michael Cera fan, so I would watch that news coverage.
He's had a few projects that I enjoy.
He's so fucking, look at me, look how meek I am. Yeah, man, I get it.
For me, like, we've discussed this, when it comes to actors, I don't even know who I like or don't like. I just like if they choose good shit, and he's chose enough good shit that I like it.
I don't think
Arrested Development boy?
Like, it's fine. I don't like it as much as everybody else does, and I actively dislike it when he's on screen.
Oh, really? Oh, man. There's that fucking short, not even really a storyline, but where they just discuss him getting into the Jerky Boys at some point in his adolescence. And it's him prank calling his dad. And his dad, like, really encouragingly, like, hey, buddy, you're not going to want to call people you know. I know it's you. Like, he still calls him a jerky. It's so good. Okay, thanks, Jerky.
I think that's the one. Well, I don't care for maybe on that show either. But outside of them, I think I love everyone else on that show.
God, yeah, I'm a fan.
Jeffrey
of that show.
Tambor is so good on that show. Yeah. There's always money in the banana stand.
Those little side characters, like Martin Mullins, Gene Parmesan, like the fucking master of disguise that his mother's always baffled by. Like, fucking Gene Parmesan is such a good name.
Or the Fonz's character, Henry Winkler's character on there is super good.
Just like a hopeless lawyer. Isn't he?
Yeah, kind of a Gil.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, very much a Gil.
Back on The Simpsons, the Angry Dad the movie is up for an Oscar, and Bart doesn't tell Homer about it because Homer's been fucking blown up his spot this whole time. So he leaves Homer out of the Oscars, doesn't tell him they're nominated, gives him a fucking list of like landmarks to check out in L.A.
I had never heard of the Watts Towers before. They look kind of neat. That's a real thing.
I didn't bother looking it up.
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting.
Is it just an art
It's
an art
like
installation?
some Italian sculptor made it in the 20s and 30s.
And they just look like antennas, kind of?
Yeah,
or...
it's pretty wacky looking. Yeah, and they're fucking big.
Yeah?
As antennas often are.
I'll have to look that up. And that's when these gangsters roll up on Homer and Marge.
Oh, yeah.
And is just like, oh, you're fucking Homer from Angry Dad. Why aren't you at the Oscars? You're up for an Oscar. And explains to Homer what's going on. And they load Homer and Marge up in their lowrider and take them to the Oscars.
And in the scene you're talking about, it's the two guys in the front doing all the talking. And they just lean back. What do you think of that, Nasty Jay? There's this big chubby dude just, that's cold. And then Marge and Homer are like flanking Nasty J in the back.
Crammed
of the
in
car.
the back with Nasty J.
That's cold.
We get Halle Berry voicing herself. A lot of celebrity actors showing up in this one. Halle Berry is presenting the Oscar nominees for this thing. We get a long clip of this Wallace and Gromit movie. I don't think I've ever seen any of their movies.
I don't have to ask you. That was my next note.
Like, they're instantly recognizable.
Yep,
you know who they are.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think I've ever seen any of their stuff.
Then Lisa realizes she's sitting next to the guy. His fucking hand feels like, I'm more clay than man now. What?
So good. Halle Berry at one point when she's presenting the nominees says, every night I dream that my teeth fly out of my mouth. I can't think of a worse nightmare. If you fuck. That's Jesus.
Yeah, that's good.
Bart wins. Angry Dad wins the Oscar, beats out the Pixar movie and everything. Bart is like getting his moment in the sun, but then also is like, oh, I should thank a bunch of people actually, and he does, including Homer
and Lisa. We get real good boy Bart here.
Yep, good brother Bart.
Like unsolicited, he didn't have to be asked to do it. He just did it. Like,
yep, gives Lisa credit for this being her idea to begin with. Like all of a sudden, very humble. Scorsese stands up and says, well, you can't give an Oscar to everyone, because Bart is saying like everyone should get one, and Scorsese says, well, that won't work. Then we cut to, and it's kind of wholesome, them slicing up the Oscar with a table saw and giving a little piece of it to all the animators, like everyone who worked on the movie.
Yeah, everyone gets a square.
That's fun.
Yep.
Everyone gets like a little penny-sized piece of the Oscar.
Chunk of Oscar, like bit of honey.
Yeah, exactly. Bit of honey. Boy, when's the last time you had a bit of honey?
Within the last 10 years.
That's a long time, dog.
Right, yeah. I'll even say last 5 years. Every once in a while, that's a treat if I see it in the candy dish at a place and it's a rare thing, and I'm taking a bit of honey. God, I like a bit of, God damn, a bit of honey's good.
Sounds like something a sexual assaulter says. I'm taking a bit of honey.
Just give Daddy a little bit of honey. Daddy's got sweet tooth.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Only your little honey bits satiate his desires. Give Daddy a little bit of honey.
You want to ride the roller coaster? Sir.
How long can you hold your breath? What?
Sir, put the candy down.
We're not going to ask you out of our boutique candy store, sir.
You want to see my gin tub?
Been soaking for weeks.
And then we get like a fun bit here at the end under the credits of Ricky Gervais begging Ridley Scott to be in his next movie. And it turns out it's not Ridley Scott.
It's a seat filler.
That's fun.
Yeah, the guy's voice was good. It's like got like a Western cowboy voice.
I'm a seat filler.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I dig that one a lot. So far, 2 for 2. I like both those episodes.
Both have been very good so far.
Yeah.
Episode 15, Scorpion's Tail. Episode begins with the kids at a field trip at something called the Springfield Desert State Park, a.k.a. the Devil's Anvil.
Yep.
Like, that's a good name. I'd visit the Devil's Anvil.
Yeah. I'd go see that rock formation or whatever it is. In here, it's a rock formation.
And so we get a lot of, like, hijinks, like kids on the loose hijinks, which you're always going to get in anything like this.
I want to go to the desert. I've never been to the desert, and I've always wanted to go. Like I kind of missed my opportunity this year because the warm weather's coming, and I don't want to go to the desert in the summer.
Time.
But like maybe next winter, I would like to go to like Palm Springs.
There you go.
Go down there for a weekend or maybe a week, maybe longer. Fucking dick around in Joshua Tree.
And I like when it's surprising how cold it gets in the winter. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You're what's surprisingly cold right here in North Dakota.
It gets so cold at night. It's 55.
Yeah,
like,
or 40. Even if it's 40.
On. Yeah.
If it's 40 degrees, I can sleep in my car with a light blanket.
Especially if that car's been sitting in the desert all day. It's going to hold some heat.
Yeah, it's a convection car at that point.
Yeah. I want to go to Joshua Tree and drink dirty water and eat mushrooms and look for aliens. Yep. That sounds like a blast. I'm not even a hallucinogens guy, but
we get a good Martin scene in the desert here. I think he's chasing a butterfly, and he ends up finding some fucking anti-government fucking standoff types.
From what I understand, those are in the desert.
That's the one thing that always trips me out, because I've did some very fucking squirrely ass desert driving where it's 2-lane highways way too far from the interstate, and you'll just come over a hill and there's 17 trailer houses in an abandoned fucking village. What are you doing here? We're nowhere to work. Where's your jobs? Where's your money? None of this adds up.
Did all of your trailer homes blow their axles in this spot?
Right.
Like,
was there like a dip in this road at one time? Like,
that's what I envision. I just envision that as like Randy Quaid's group of traveling weirdos in Independence Day. They all got those RVs out in the desert.
Yeah. It's so I don't get any of it. I do get the appeal of desert culture because it's weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's real Mad Maxy. Mad Maxy's pretty cool.
Yeah, Mad Max is really cool.
Yeah.
You and I could go out there. We could be the Golden Youth and the other one.
Man, those Golden Youth tryouts are going to be pretty sad. I don't think I'm nimble to be a Golden Youth
Pretty
anymore.
graphic Golden Youth tryouts.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, you really got to want it.
I remember the first time I saw that movie being like, what does the Golden Youth even do? Oh,
He's the
okay.
very big air quotes boyfriend.
He's the gal.
He's the lady.
Get a Lord Humongous fucking hockey mask and Rob Halford chest harness.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get in them deserts.
The Ayatollah of rock and roller.
Man, the fucking movies are good.
So Lisa is out exploring the desert. While she's out there, we see a vulture carrying Hans Moleman.
Yeah.
That was a good visual.
Yeah.
I got a kick out of that. He needs more screen time.
Good background thing to throw in.
Lisa eventually captures 2 scorpions for her science project, and they're like, they get the drop on her.
Yep.
Like, uh-oh, I'm in a bad spot here. And she crawls into some plants, and then they get docile. Or they chill out. Ooh, this is a good science for a project. She puts them like in a Tupperware container. She's all happy. She's got it. That's where goddamn Skinner comes out. And it's like, we gotta go. Milhouse found a hippie skeleton and now he's freaking out. He says it in a tone like it's something you expect to have happen on this kind of trip.
Yep. Like it's just another day in the life.
Milhouse is just carrying a hippie skeleton arm like, don't get off the bus. Don't get
off the
bus. Which is such a good a good wrap up for this. So the laughs are coming pretty hot right off the beginning with this one.
Lisa with those scorpions. Scorpions they got to be the most terrifying thing. It's the thing that scares me about the desert. Is
so
scorpions.
Cool. Like, I don't want to get stung by one.
Terrifying.
They're not slimy though. That's my thing.
True. But lots of things I don't like aren't slimy.
I think almost every scorpion in the U.S., you don't have to worry at all about dying or even getting fucked up. It just hurts. It's like a super bad bee sting.
I was going to say, they're like bees with claws. They're like if a bee was a lobster. Yeah. And that sounds terrifying.
Yeah. Which, they're. I just always found them so unique looking as a kid.
They're super cool. Yeah. Like it's no wonder why there's so many scorpions in like heavy metal or comic books or they're a rad animal, but fuck, I don't want to mess with one. I don't get
stung. That stinger is very out there for the world to see.
Yeah, really dicks out on the stinger.
Dicks out on stingers. This spring break, baby.
that new Jackass movie with that scorpion bit is so fucked. Yeah. Why would you do that?
Yeah, not good.
God.
We see Grandpa getting kicked out of the nursing home for being just a fucking son of a bitch. Just a meanie. Grandpa's a meanie. He just, my note is, holy shit, Grandpa sucks.
Yeah.
And Lisa has discovered that a rare desert plant, I think called the Springfield silver tongue.
Yeah. Silver tongue, I think, is a real flower.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That turns aggressive animals docile. That's why those scorpions chilled out when she was crawling backwards, because she got in that sweet, sweet silver tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And they decide, I think it's Homer decides to play an experiment on Grandpa by giving him a little bit of the old silver tongue. Turns out, works like a goddamn charm.
Hell yeah, it does. Spikes his coffee with it.
My new note, Grandpa's fucking cool now.
Yeah.
He's like the best grandpa ever.
Yeah, he's all chilled out.
Yeah. There's a good line where he gives Bart some money to go buy rock and roll records. He's like, to the antique store.
That's so funny, that quick exchange.
Lisa comes through. What do you want me to do? It's something, eat something green, vote for someone brown.
That's such a good line.
Oh, God. So Lisa feels the drug is too powerful and flushes it down the toilet. Now Grandpa's shitty again at Moe's, and he's just bumming everyone out at Moe's. It's like, oh, why'd you bring him with? It's during this time a man named Walter Hottenhoffer. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Walter Hottenhoffer, some weirdo German pharmaceutical exec, just casually drinking at Moe's, overhears them and says he can synthesize the drug from just one drop of the extract, which he finds in like Grandpa's forehead juice.
Like sweat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Voiced by the fucking excellent Werner Herzog.
Yeah, I was just going to say, has to be Werner Herzog.
God damn, I could listen to Werner Herzog talk all day.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah.
He's the German Sam Elliott.
Yeah,
Like just talk, Werner.
Yeah, he's got the perfect voice for shit like this.
God, like him in The Mandalorian, he plays that great fucking ex-Empire guy.
Yeah.
I want to see the baby. Like, God, he's so good. I don't know that I've ever seen one of his films, but I love when he turns up in stuff.
Yeah. Never saw Grizzly Man? That was probably the one documentary of his that got
I didn't see Grizzly Man. I've heard that last couple minutes is fun.
Rough stuff.
I love he just has this sense of hopelessness.
Yeah,
he has this
just the sterility
he's
too.
So dour, like but clinical, like he's such a bummer. I love it so much.
So we're at Hottenhoffer's research facility where they have managed to create a synthetic version of the drug, and the plan is to send it all over the world. He has like a series of like Stepford wife, like I think Bart assumes they're like cyborgs.
Yeah, pharmaceutical reps.
Yeah, pharmaceutical. No one could be as soulless as us. Like,
right? Yeah. Are they robots? No, robots could form human emotion.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's a good line.
A good dig at the pharmaceutical companies too, because like that's where all the problems are the pharmaceutical reps peddling it to doctors.
Yeah, my God. Yeah.
That's how you get things like the opium crisis.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, let's go play golf. You could buy all these drugs and shove down people's throats.
Yeah. Hey, how many pens and frisbees do I have to give you to where you prescribe this to everybody?
So they got it going all over the world. They got to do some tests on it. But Bart has taken this time to just start selling it. He's slanging he's slanging Silver Tongue.
Yeah.
And what he manages to do, at least at the beginning, is make all of Springfield's olds less cranky.
Like Mr. Burns, who is sitting on the beach yelling at the ocean.
Yeah, at the tide.
God damn it, Mr. Burns.
That was good. And Homer has been given some to Grandpa still to make Grandpa not so shitty. And I think they were fishing together, which is not something they would do. That's a sign that he's on the drugs. And they know Lisa's inside. And fucking Grandpa used the line, "I can't go in there smiling like a Swede on payday." Like, where is that from, Grandpa?
What the hell?
So we know that Grandpa's on the juice and loving it. Fucking, he loves it, even though we find out it pops his goddamn eyes out of their sockets.
Hell of a side effect.
Jesus, is it? I think it turns out that it lubricates the eye sockets to the point that they can't hold your eyeballs in anymore.
Yeah, so they're just dangling.
What a thing to find out about something. Jesus. And they're like, "Oh man, we gotta let the Hottenhoffer know about this." And that's when Bart's like, "Well, I may have somehow kind of accidentally sold a bunch of that shit on the streets." So there's just this fucking army of elderly people with their fucking eyeballs out of their heads.
Crazy. This is fucking bonkers.
When Grandpa's wearing those fucking swimming goggles with the saline solution, Jesus
His
Christ.
eyes are just floating in it.
So fucking sick.
There's some outstanding visuals in the rest of this bit.
We see one where there's an old lady with a fish tank full of water over her head.
Yep, another lady has a basket on her head and the handle's positioned in such a way that they're keeping her eyes in her head.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of good visuals in here.
Yeah. So they go let Walter know about the googly eye side effects. And that's where fucking Marge is like, "Well, you have to do something. It says right here on your Frisbee." It's like just like a promotional giveaway Frisbee.
Yeah.
And that's where, is it Walter?
Yeah.
His line is, "As always, the Frisbee is the mirror to the soul." Just such a good line. So he sees what the drug is capable of and vows to destroy it. And then Grandpa is reminded by Homer's antics because, like, what is it? He actually drives backwards through a thing that has like those spikes up. He blows his tires out, and it's like, "Well, why don't you get a new car?" "Well, I can't afford it." They just discuss some shitty home loan.
Just get a loan and use your home as collateral.
Yeah.
Like, his generation sucks.
Yeah. So Grandpa is reminded by Homer that the boomers are dumber than shit. So whatever his generation is, they have to they got to get off the juice so they can do their best to set this shitty situation straight, get the fucking nightmare generation, which is true, that they set to get them to fucking get their shit together. And that's where we find out, just from like a knowing wink and a nod, that Lenny, Homer, and Carl all did this. What the plan was to motivate the olds.
Yeah.
Because like they pick his car up,
flip it over,
put fucking fresh tires on it, and clean it.
Yeah.
They give them something. They're a hardworking generation. Oh, and he has the line that their can-do will bail out our won't try every time. Jesus.
It's so good.
And there's an ongoing Willy Wonka joke that the German guy is actually Augustus Gloop. Do you have any Willy Wonka?
I've never seen it.
Nope, neither. It wasn't a part of my childhood. I never read the book.
Nope, never read the book. Never saw the Gene Wilder. Never saw the Tim Burton. Like, I know, all I know is that's the fat kid from that movie.
Yep. And like, I don't even know what he did to get his demise.
Not a clue.
That's one of those, I remember seeing like a beat up copy of it in the library, but never appealed. I'm never a big Roald Dahl guy.
I don't think I knew until just now that was a book.
Yeah, that was a children's book. Roald Dahl, BFG was the only book. Big Friendly Giant, James and the Giant Peach. Any of this ringing a bell?
I feel like I've heard the words James and the Giant Peach, but
that's as far as it's going.
That's all I got for you, pal.
They burnt those books in the winter of '89. We're out of horse bones.
We need to heat this school somehow. Burn the books. I had no idea that was a book.
The olds are back to being miserable, and all is right in the world.
Yeah. All of the Werner Herzog shit in this episode is so fucking funny. Like oh my God, when they're having that meeting in his office when they do the frisbee gag, when that secretary comes running in and goes, "Sir, there's a mob outside," and he just immediately pulls that pistol out of his fucking desk and puts it to his head, and he goes, "Oh no, an angry mob." And she goes, "No, a happy mob." And he sets the gun down. He's just like, "Just once, I would love to not have to put a gun. I would love one day without having to put a gun to my head." Yeah. Some good dunking on the pharmaceutical industry in this episode, which I like
very much so.
And maybe my biggest laugh of the whole episode is earlier when they when Abe first gets thrown out of the old folks' home and has to move in with the Simpsons. There's like a brief thing of him sleeping in everybody's room briefly, and when he is sleeping in the Simpsons' room, and Marge and Homer start fooling around, and Abe just sits up and goes, "You call that lovemaking? In my day, women didn't make a sound." Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's such a good joke.
Can you think, what did he say in Bart's bedroom?
It was something along the lines of, like, Bart was reading a comic book and he's like, "Got your nose in
Funny
a picture
books.
book."
Yeah.
You forget how to conversate?
Yeah.
And Bart like, "Oh, okay. How you doing?" He's like, "It would be better if I didn't have a grandson that wouldn't shut his damn yap."
I got a roommate that won't quit yapping.
Like Bart can't win.
And Lisa's like studying. He's like, "You think it's be easy to find a husband for whatever?" Like, Jesus, she's 8 years old.
He's awful. Yeah.
We get some peak shit grandpa and peak nice grandpa.
Yep. But God, in my day, women didn't make a sound is super funny.
He's not sleeping through it like he's not a baby.
Yeah, Marge, I told you he wouldn't sleep through it. Jeez, what a thing to try to do. Horse around with your adult wife while your adult father is in the room.
Jesus, yeah. But a very good episode.
Not my favorite of the batch, but I liked it.
Yep. We're 3 for 3 so far for enjoyable episodes.
Yeah, I also think we're 3 for 3, but that is probably the third of 3 for me.
Yep.
I like those first two a lot.
Yeah, but I do think it maybe takes a jump down in quality, but hey, you know what? We'll see.
Let's find out.
Segways.
Episode 16 is A Midsummer's Nice Dreams. I've never read that story. I don't know anything about A Midsummer's Night Dream.
I did in college years ago, and I've flushed it out of my brain.
Oh, you didn't hold on to any of that?
That was all fucking court mandated, Norman. That was a general that I did not want to take.
Have you held on to any Shakespeare throughout
the
your life?
dramas. I don't like the comedies.
Oh, sure.
And a lot of the
They're not very funny.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Everyone had scurvy. Everyone's brains are the size of walnuts or 4.5 feet tall.
The plague was not that long ago.
Right? Oh my God, people still fucking fearful of rats.
Yeah, so everybody still half got the bonds.
We're all bonzed up. everyone's got the boobles or whatever, like those things hanging from them.
Yep, boobles. Yeah. Oh yeah, they explode.
Dude, just spread more plague.
Yeah,
just covered in fleshy plague balls.
Good stuff. Lock yourself in your house and cut them off. Hope for the best.
Just fucking singeing them with a cigarette, with your fucking car push-in lighter. You're burning off your bonzes. Imagine that smell.
The worst century to be a human being.
1300s?
Yeah, 1300s. Yeah. Brought by the Khans? Brought by the Mongols?
Yeah, some Asiatic conquering tribe.
Yeah, they're flinging them over the walls of whatever that city was. Yeah. Yep.
Just flinging the diseased over the walls. What a time to be a human.
Yeah. And from what I understand, everything I've read, they full-on exploded when hitting on the other side of those walls. Because they were so full of plague goop.
You're in seething agony. You're in the last hours of your life. Someone bursts into the alley that you're dying in. Hey, hold on a sec. We're going to use you as a projectile weapon.
Oh, I am fucking into that.
Yeah.
Like, that beats laying there dying of the plague. Yeah. Imagine what a ride that is. You've never been on a ride, like getting flung in a catapult by the Huns up over the fucking fence.
Alley-oop.
That's awesome.
I wonder if someone will be on the other side to catch me. Oh, no.
I hope not, frankly.
Let the suffering be over.
So this is episode 16. We get a new segment on the news called That's Kentertainment.
So good.
Oh, so fun. The video package of like him as both fucking Rhett and Scarlett from Gone with the Wind.
Them kissing.
Oh my God, him waking up with his own head in the bed sheets from The Godfather. It's fun. That's good times.
Good Kent.
Yeah.
We don't get as much good Kent as we used to.
Yeah, I haven't got a lot of Kent lately. Turns out Cheech and Chong were originally Springfield weathermen, and they're coming back for a reunion tour at the Springfield Clampatheater, which is just a clam-shaped amphitheater. Very funny. The kids don't know who Cheech and Chong are, which, of course, Homer's got to rectify that.
He's the right age.
Yeah.
If we trust whatever original Homer
is. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Homer needs to know whatever he needs to know.
Yeah, right?
He's whatever age you need him to be. I got a kick out of this because, as we've talked about before, I listened to those in my youth.
I've never had any Cheech and Chong like experimentation in my life. I've never listened to an album. I've seen like, they're showing a movie on Comedy Central. Maybe I watch 2 minutes of it and go on with my life. I've never listened to a record or any of it. Like
most of the gags from the movies came from the albums. They just put it on screen.
Yeah.
So by the time I was like of college age and watched one of the movies, I was like, I know these jokes.
It's wild that they toured like they're showing. They toured arenas.
Yeah.
Looking Cheech and Chong are
just
coming
doing
to
their thing.
Yeah.
Dave's Not Here, Man is very funny.
It really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's an actual thing.
Oh, yeah.
How about the nun thing?
Yep.
That's
the sister,
really?
whatever her name is. Yep. There's also a really funny bit of them trying to sneak people or one of them trying to sneak the other into the drive-in movie theater in the trunk of his car and getting through and going to let him out and breaks the key off in the lock. That's a fun track. Like, yeah, it's just dumb stoner humor.
Yeah.
But it was hot and fresh back then.
Think of what modern weed would have done to these people. They would be catatonic.
They'd be paralyzed.
They would not be watching Cheech Chong again. They would be frozen. Like they'd be time traveling to another dimension that we can't even comprehend.
Like I'm sure they handle it now because they've built their way up over the past 50 years. But I bet if you took a gummy bear from today and dropped it in 1971, they'd be dead.
It'd be like dropping a chemical weapon.
Exactly. Exactly.
You would be considered a butcher. You'd be like a despot.
It's like giving
Paul Pot and Marlin. Paul Pot, Marlin, and me.
It's like it'd be like giving an AR-15 to Squanto.
Yeah,
you would
right.
change the course of human history. So Homer takes them up to the attic and exposes them to the records. Homer loving it. The kids really not so much. I love that the record has a horrible warp in it. Like it was stored improperly, but still plays. That's fun. So they go to Cheech and Chong performing at the Clampatheater. I cannot get enough of the Clampatheater. I think that's extremely dumb and super
dumb.
fucking funny. I think Brockman even says on the news, like when he talks about the Clampatheater, like $80 million monstrosity that was only built because of the name. Like someone came up with it, so we built it.
So good.
So they're watching Cheech and Chong. They're doing Dave's Not Here, and Chong like can't handle it. He can't handle the pandering. He's tired of doing all the hits. He's tired of doing all the old shit. Wants to experiment and spread his wings as an artist, and as such, fucking walks off stage.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing to do.
I had to look it up. Yeah, Chong is old. I mean, Cheech ain't no spring chicken, but like Chong is in his 80s now. Mm-hmm. So like I think he says he's 72, and like that adds up.
Yeah, I saw him in something fairly recently. The Color Out of Space, that Nick Cage Lovecraft movie from 2020.
Yeah.
And like he's in it and I think hasn't aged from however long ago this was.
Oh, no shit, yeah.
He still looks, because I think he looked old. Like he doesn't look any older than he looked on that 70s show.
Has Cheech popped up in anything in pop culture since Nash Bridges?
Not that I've ever seen, but that doesn't mean no. You know, like he's in like Dusk Till Dawn, but that would have been before Nash Bridges.
Yep. Chong, that 70s show, probably what he's best known for the last 20 odd years.
Probably.
Yep.
And I think he's got some manner of entrepreneurial spirit. Like I think he has a weed
shocking.
and all that. Served some jail time not too long ago.
He did something recently.
Because like his nephew had a bong and Tommy took the fall for it or something. Yeah. So he was gone for a while there. But yeah.
What a thing to do.
Yeah. What a good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy, Tommy. So Chong walks off stage and drunk Homer fills in and
To Marge's urging.
This
is like, Marge's idea.
You know the bits. You get down there and help him. And Cheech Marin likes Homer, and now it's the Cheech and Chong tour.
I like that name choice.
Very funny. So they're going on tour. He's filling in for Tommy Chong. And in the meantime, Tommy Chong is looking for his new partner, having auditions, and he picks Skinner.
Because of how unfunny he is.
Yeah, and like that's like I like that Tommy Chong has a bit of like avant-garde to him. Like we're gonna do anti-comedy.
It's to blow people's minds how unfunny you are. Like,
I like that he wants to be experimental, so he hires Skinner to be his new partner.
Giving just some inane fucking like act out type fucking
because Skinner is not funny at all. Lisa and Marge are out walking the dog, and the dog runs into the crazy cat lady's house, and they go chasing after it, and the cat lady is a full-on hoarder.
Yeah. This is probably around the time when the hoarders phenomenon.
It's got to be around the time of the TV show, because I don't think anyone ever knew what that word was before the TV show showed up.
Pack rats.
Yeah, pack rat, and I've never seen that show.
I've seen a few.
It seems gross. It seems like something I don't want to watch.
There were a couple. The ones I found interesting were there were a couple that were probably also had some OCD. So their house is packed full of shit that is immaculately stacked in an order. But it's like just like literally a room full of Tupperware containers with different colored beads in it, or like different colored zippers, or that's like What are you fucking do with all these zippers? You don't fucking seamstress? What the fuck are you gonna do with all this shit? Oh, you never know. I gotta have you don't have to have any of this. Then there's some that just, the fucking dirty diaper factory shut down. I just had to start dumping it through the window. It's like, what the fuck? Just looks like a fucking European fucking gross out horror movie in the house.
like Hostel.
Yeah, like there was one where they got the house emptied out, but it was so destroyed by like cat piss that they had to knock. You know how much a cat has to piss in your house before you got to knock a house down? It's like the cat piss ruined the foundation of the house, and I'll just like the trash juice. Yeah, that one was like a fucking ministry video. It's just like you're just trying to shock us.
Order.
Yeah, like it was fucking gnarly.
Yeah, I've never seen it, never wanted to see it. I do know people like this.
Oh, I got a lot in my family.
Oh, yeah.
And I did have a lot.
I'm not going to lie, dog. I can see that.
Yeah, I got a little strain of it in me.
I think you got a little of that blood in you, that hoarder blood.
Yeah. Oh, I do, totally. Hoarder blood runs deep in my veins. I didn't throw away any magazine I ever got till I was like 30-some years old. That's troublesome.
That's alarming behavior.
Too many. Am I going to sit down and read these old boys' lives? Is there an article I want to get back to?
How many Field and Streams do I need?
A lot of Sports Illustrated for kids.
Wyatt Cenac in one of his specials talks about wrestling with that because he has the DNA. And he talks about his thing was he couldn't throw away a piece of paper that had his name on it.
Oh, interesting.
Like that was, he couldn't get rid of it because it was important because it had his name on it.
Interesting.
So he had all this mail and all this paperwork.
Awesome.
Yeah. Seems like a hard way to live. They're walking through her house and like rattling off some of the stuff they see. So there's a couple jokes. My favorite, A, because of just what it is, and B, it looks fun visually. Fish tanks full of pinball table parts.
There's Cable Ace Awards. I like that too.
What an insane thing to have.
Like, where are you getting pinball parts from?
Right?
Like,
You could sell those. I mean, to her credit, you could get good money for those today.
There's a stuffed bear in the background that I feel like it's animated to the point I should know what it's from, but I don't.
Like it's a reference to something?
I'm just thinking maybe I'm looking too much into this. I did an internet, and I did a quick...
You did an internet?
Yeah, I did an
Old
internet.
man, did you do an internet?
I googled it up.
Oh, Jesus.
And I just didn't find any references. I'm like, that must just be in my head.
Huh. Well, if you Googled it and you didn't find it on an internet...
The webs? There's no webs.
Nothing on the webs,
Find one web.
Huh. This information highway isn't so super after all. Mm-hmm. If you can't say, hey, what's this teddy bear from The Simpsons?
Teddy bear, Simpsons.
Then why do we even have it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, get rid of it.
So Homer is out on tour with Cheech, and Cheech is a stickler. Like he's always wanting to do rehearsals. He doesn't want any horsing around.
Very professional.
And this is not what Homer signed up for. He's bummed. I like that he's playing Lowrider on his boombox, like making up new lyrics to it.
Yeah.
That was fun. Sometimes I forget that the song Lowrider exists, and I like the song Lowrider.
What a weird... That was a hit single.
Yeah.
Imagine that being a hit single now.
It's a banger. It's a good song.
Yeah. What is the dun 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 dun? What instrument do you think that is? Dun, 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 dun.
Keyboard, probably. Yeah. I don't actually have a real answer. I love Homer's shit of like hanging out with Cheech Marin's not what I imagined or whatever. Like he comes up with all these fucking lyrics. That's fun. Back at the cat lady's house, Marge has talked some volunteers into helping. They got like fucking beekeeper's outfits or whatever on. They're going to go clean out the cat lady's house. They sent her to see the play Cats in the meantime so that they can clean her house out. I love that she has like an emotional reaction at the play. That's fun. Blows her nose into a cat and throws it away and pulls another one out of the cup holder. Crazy Cat Lady is fun to me. I like Crazy Cat Lady. They got the house cleaned out. They got all the junk on the truck, and Marge goes to tell him to get it out of here. But that's when she starts looking in the truck. Like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? And pretty soon she has taken everything out of the truck and kept it.
Bag of fucking pizza protectors.
Oh, God.
That's so
a bag
gross.
of used pizza protectors.
So sick.
That's disgusting, Marge. Or like...
That's orange cone she pulls out.
Yeah, traffic cone. Like, shit you don't need, Marge. What are you doing? Oh, a shaving cream hot latherer. Unreal. You don't need any of this junk.
Yep, that was... My grandpa definitely had that. Oh, I just remember walking at an auction sale where he bought some junk he don't need, and he found just like a 2.5 foot piece of rebar, just a iron bar sitting in the middle of the fields. Free iron bar. And had just walked it back to the pickup. I'm like, what
do you need a piece of rebar for?
Never know. That would be his answer. You never know when you want one. When you need one, you're going to want to have one.
That is lunatic behavior.
Just, bought so many boxes. Like, he was the guy at the end of the auction sale. Hey, Engel, if you want to buy all these for $1 each, he would. Just, it's probably something in there worth more than $1. Just like the little, like fucking baby food jars full of assorted screws and nails and fucking thimbles or whatever the fuck is in those things. Just mountains of them.
Oh, I got so many washers.
Look at these washers. Just fucking drunk off washer money.
I'm all bolt hammered over here.
So many washers.
I don't have that in me. I don't attach emotions to objects. I never have. And like, I was raised with the mentality of, if you have something but you don't use it, you shouldn't have it. Only own things you use. And that's how I've lived my life. Everything I have, I use. So...
That one universal bathroom rag.
It's for the bath. It's for wet and dry and cleaning and wiping. And
toilet paper. The Rockefellers. Use the rag.
Oh, God. It just hangs from a string in the middle of the ceiling.
On a lanyard.
Yep.
So it goes right back to the ceiling.
Yep. It's on like a janitor's key ring.
Wash the toilet into the bathroom rug when you have a chance. And it's like a floor mat. It's not a towel. So well, you choose what end you're going to wipe with. It's up to you. God. How messy was it?
Well, I cleaned the toilet with this side. I guess I'll dry off in the shower with this side.
First, I got to clean myself with it, too.
Boy, what a pickle I'm in. Oh, gross. Yeah. Marge gonna keep all the junk. Cheech is like, hey, Homer, we had a good show, so you get a reward. And Homer's all excited, and fucking Cheech takes him to a Latina art museum, which Homer's not into.
Him trying to explain it to Homer was so good, too.
Both Cheech and Chong do a good job in this. I think they've, not only just the records, but I think they've done a lot of, like, voice acting as themselves over the years, so they're pretty good at it. Homer can't handle that Cheech isn't the Cheech that he knows from on stage and on the records. Meanwhile, Tommy Chong and his new partner, Skinner, known as Cheech and Chong.
Holy fuck. That's
get it? Because Skinner's a teacher. Yeah. I laughed at that. I really did.
I missed that the first time around.
Yeah, it's on the poster. They're at a comedy club. Like, Cheech and Chong are out performing stadiums still. Not Tommy Chong and Skinner.
Starting over.
And they do this insane avant-garde fucking stage comedy show. Oh, fuck, to backtrack, during Skinner's audition for Tommy Chong, when he's like, well, I have all these props, and he pulls out that steam trunk and pulls out a cell phone, and it's a fucking brick phone with celery strapped to it.
How'd you get this number, mother?
God, that's not hooked to anything, clearly. And he's still like, I took the limpest stalk I could find. Yes, I took your celery, but I took the limpest stalk I could.
Oh, so good.
Unbelievable. He's fucking unchained. You get the people that you get the feeling that the people don't care for Cheech and Chong. Meanwhile, back at the Simpson house, we got like 3 stories all going on at once here. Back at the Simpson house, it is packed full of shit. It is full of so much junk.
Yeah.
It's real gross. And that's when Lisa calls out to Homer and gets him to come help.
She's like a great line, like, I don't say this very often, but I think Dad is the only one that can help us.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was a very good line.
And Homer comes over with the reformed cat lady. She's like wearing a pantsuit, like totally has her
Normal
shit together.
hair.
As Marge is pouring a wheelbarrow full of forks into a cast iron tub in their living room. I can't believe they're going to throw away all these forks. Lunatic behavior.
Yeah.
And reformed cat lady is like, listen, Marge, you're going down a dark path. And then she starts seeing all the junk and starts relapsing.
Yeah, becoming the cat lady.
Real hard. Oh, rolls full of I voted stickers. And she's sticking them all over
I'll look her
herself.
eye.
Yeah, one on an eyeball. Yeah, cat lady has gone full cat lady again.
Yeah, she's a troubled woman.
Yep. And they like hustle Marge out of there. So let her deal with that.
Yeah.
We cut to a fucking huge barn out in the middle of nowhere that has a huge banner on it that says Ogdenville Barley Palace. That's the venue where Cheech Marin is playing. And he's doing his driving in the van bit. And when Homer is supposed to walk out there, he sends Tommy Chong instead. And those two reunite on stage. And all is well again.
Yep.
Cheech and Chong are back. Marge is, I assume, learned a lesson.
Yep.
Cat lady is cat lady again.
Is cat lady out of their house? Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe that's her house now.
I think Homer even says, like, on the way out, like, we'll deal with this later.
Yeah. Because she calls all of her cats back to her.
Yeah. She, like,
It's like a Tarzan, like,
exactly.
chest beating. Yeah.
Like, does a scream and all the cats start marching. Yeah. Lunatic.
Yeah.
Not my favorite of the batch, but still fine.
A couple good laughs, but you're right. Yeah,
that is
Cheech
good.
and Chong, I have no connection to them, so that.
Oh yeah, I suppose if you don't have a reverence for those two or their thing, then I could see you not being hella into it. It's very specific.
Yeah.
What a specific thing to do in 2011.
Yeah, right. To the point, it's like, were they in the news? But I don't think they were.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No idea.
The writers are the right age.
Sure.
They probably were into it. Yep. And our final episode of the batch, episode 17, Love is a Many Strangled Thing.
I don't get it.
Love is a Many Splendored Thing, which I don't know if that's a song or a poem. It's one of the two.
Aren't they the same
Yeah,
thing?
right.
Really?
A good one of either. Make the heart sing, a good poem. Before I jump in, we see the Futurama ship in the intro.
Yeah, the Planet Express ship and the music. That opening dun 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 dun.
Yeah, good call. But like, do you think there's any reason, like, what was going on right now?
I have no idea.
Was this coming back?
I was about to say, would this been one of their returns? They've got canceled and come back so many times. I don't remember when any of the years were.
Yeah, like, would they been coming back? This was like 2011.
Maybe
So
around
maybe,
about there, yeah.
maybe they were. Maybe it has been that fucking long because we're so old and obsolete.
We're falling apart.
My bones hurt endlessly.
I wonder who has Futurama on their streaming right now, because I like that show. So
And it's coming back to one of the streamings. So.
which is fucking why not?
Yeah,
why not bring it back again?
Bring it on. Nothing ends.
I like that everyone freaked out when they're like, John DiMaggio's not going to be Bender. Fuck this. And then like 2 days later, they were like, okay, fine, we'll pay him what he wants.
Why wouldn't could he be asking for something that exorbitant? Like,
Couldn't be. John DiMaggio is a fucking excellent voice actor.
Yeah.
He's also the voice of Marcus Phoenix from the Gears of War games.
Really?
Like, plays this fucking super ultra grizzled military shooter man. And yeah, he's great. John DiMaggio is a fucking talent. That show is good. Futurama's very good, I think.
I don't think I like it as much as some, but it's very good.
Yeah, I like... That's one of those shows where, like, man, when it's funny, it's really funny, and when it is fucking heartfelt, it is super heartfelt. That episode with Fry's dog, fuck you up every time.
That was one of the first episodes I ever saw.
Oof, that's
like,
a hell of
Jesus,
an entry point.
Is this show often
You're like,
this?
is this show always like
yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Like,
Jesus, everyone claims this is so funny.
yeah, I don't get it. Like a little bit of, but just like with Bart, a little bit of Bender early on with, oh, this character sucks. Just like, bite my shiny metal. Oh,
yeah, with his catchphrases and shit. Yeah. Like,
but eventually they figured him out.
Yep. They dialed him back enough.
Yeah. Like kind of like Cartman, too.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Oh, I had the same issue with Zoidberg on Futurama, too. It's like, okay, I only need so much of the silly voice Lobster Man.
Yep. To the point that did they ever really figure out much for him? He was always kind of just comic relief.
Yeah, I think they eventually just kind of pushed him into the background far enough. They found where to put him.
Yeah.
You know, much like with Bender.
They figured out the right balance.
Yeah.
So Homer ends up saving Mr. Burns from a goddamn hot air balloon mishap.
Yeah.
Is Burns just kind of taking like a tour and oversee of the power plant?
Yeah, that's how they're inspecting the plant, is via hot air balloon.
There's graffiti that says "Kill Mr. Burns." He edits it to make it more positive. I can't recall.
Yeah, he edits it to say "Skilled Mr. Burns." So dumb.
Well done. And he's floating. They're out of control, and that's when I think it's Lenny mentions he went hunting earlier that day. So they have guns, and Homer, not a crack shot.
No.
He's fucking everything up. Someone has a Marry Me Pam banner behind a plane. He actually shoots the M off, so it's Marry Me Pa. There's a man with his dad that's just sick. That was a good gag.
So ridiculous.
You get a lot of ridiculous early on.
Yeah.
I think they're flying by, like, I don't know if it's some castle of some kind. Is it supposed to be his home? I don't get what
it looks like Notre Dame.
Yeah. And he shoots the head. He's trying to pop a hot air balloon. Pretty big target. Even with open sights.
Yeah.
You should be able to take a knee, Homer. Catch your breath.
Yep.
Gather yourself. Take the shot.
Bring Carl over and put it on his shoulder. Do something.
Because you're fucking up. And he shoots the head off a goddamn gargoyle, but luckily enough, it lands on Burns' head, and apparently that weight is enough for it to drop.
Yeah.
So they slowly come to the ground.
Gargoyle head probably pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's true. We do get a scene of a good feeble Mr. Burns, and they're so high up, the wind can remove his liver spots.
Yeah, blows his liver spots off his head.
I thought that was good. So Burns gets the gargoyle off of his head, and he's like, oh, Homer, you're the one that saved me. Name your reward. You can have anything. He's like, I want all your money and power. He's like, lower. He's
and
like,
more likely.
Yeah, I want Super Bowl tickets. Lower. Playoff tickets. Regular season games. That's what he gets.
Yeah.
He gets tickets to whatever Springfield's home stadium is.
Football. We're doing this time.
Yep. And we get like a lot of gags of just how Gooch, because it was around this time when stadiums were getting ultra modern.
Yeah.
Like the Giant stadiums, like multiple sushi spots in one. Yeah. And we get, there's all this high-end shopping and everything's super fancy. The bathrooms are super fucking nice and everything.
Even a special section for non-sports fans to like complain about sports.
Yeah, which is good. There's a lot of nothing had me just LOLing, but it was a good fun run of just silly sight gags here.
How about over here where there's a massage parlor run by retired offensive linemen?
I should have bought a Ferrari every year for 22 years. That's like, I hosted Saturday Night Live once, ladies and gentlemen. Matchbox 20.
It's so good. There's that one guy who's in that scene doing the rub down. He's got like a real deep black guy voice. He's also I know his voice from two things. One, he's on Family Guy. He in the later seasons is the guy who buys the bar. He has a real distinctive voice, so you know his voice. I forget precisely what his name is off the top of my head. But from before that, I know him as the voice of Goro from Mortal Kombat the movie in 95.
No shit.
Yeah. He barely speaks, but as soon as you hear it, you're like, that's the guy from Family Guy.
I was going to say, I had no clue that he spoke ever.
Yeah, I think he's got all of like 3 lines in that movie. That movie's fucking good. You want hot takes? You want me to tell you what it is? That movie is good.
That or the Street Fighter movie?
Oh, it's Mortal Kombat. Like, it's hands down.
I think most people would agree with that, right?
Yeah. Street Fighter is also good, but in an ironic way. Mortal Kombat is unironically very good. Yeah. Like, and then the second one is awful. And the new one is awful.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, but like Man, that first Street Fighter in 95 is so good.
The second one, Annihilation, is that what that?
You got it.
I remember ads for that.
Fucking bad.
Is it really?
Ugh.
I'm saying like I doubt it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that first one, legitimate, excellent movie. Maybe the best video game movie.
I can't think of anything right now.
Like a couple of the Resident Evil movies are good, but they don't reach that level.
There's one in the theater right now. Uncharted? Is that what that game?
Oh yeah, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything good about it. That movie was in development hell for so long that Marky Mark, in the one that you can see right now, Mark Wahlberg plays the older guy who's the mentor. When that movie first hit the ground running in production, he was in the Tom Holland role.
Really?
That's how long they've been trying to make that fucking thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was going to be Nathan Drake, and now he's Sully. That's how long that took.
When was the last time you were at a pro sports event? That got me thinking with all this football stadium shit.
I've never been to a pro sports event, not on the professional level.
What in the what?
Yeah, I've been to like whatever league our hockey team here in Fargo is. I've been to several of those games this year. I've been to half an inning of a Red Hawks game once, and that's for those who don't live here, like some manner of minor
Independent
league
baseball.
Yeah, even below minor league. Yep. Yeah, I've never been to a professional sport.
Kidding.
NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB.
Really?
Never.
I would have assumed just by, like, I'm with some people in Minneapolis and they're going to go, I'll get a ticket. Huh.
No.
No.
For the majority of my life, I was too broke to eat
here
food.
Too. Yeah.
So, yeah, never got around to it.
Been to one NFL game, probably 5 or 6 Minnesota Twins games, and probably 4 or 5 NBA games. That's my...
I'd love to. I think an NBA game or an NHL game would be at the top of my list.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. NBA, NFL too, just for the spectacle of it. But God, also the pain in the ass of it, just all that many people.
I've been to professional wrestling. Does that count?
Have you been to the big ones? Like
I've been to a pay-per-view.
Oh, no shit.
I went to Hell in the Cell when they were in Minneapolis. Shit, man, probably 6 to 8 years ago. I was on the, you watch, like, we had good seats, so it's like, there we are.
Are you geeking out?
Oh, yeah.
Are you
of course.
flipping out?
Yeah, I was losing my mind.
Trying to get in the ring.
Hop the rail, get the shit kicked out of you.
Real strong forearm shiver.
Oh, you boys are working stiff.
Lay off, man, lay off. You're not part of this, dude. That's gonna be cool. It's gonna be real cool.
Why don't you wrench a headlock this tight when you're in the ring, huh? Yeah. You're still talking shit the whole time. Yeah, I've been to like a handful of house shows. I was at an AEW Dynamite a couple of years ago, and that one pay-per-view. Yep.
So tons of pretend sports, but no real ones.
No real ones. I have stared at and almost bought. So this year, which is in just a couple of weeks, the Winnipeg Jets, who are my chosen NHL team, are playing the Avalanche, and they're going to get murdered. But they're playing the Avalanche in Winnipeg on my birthday.
Oh, really?
No, regular season, like very late regular season.
So, okay, I got a question on that. Was there hockey at the Olympics this year? Must have been. Why is the NHL regular season still going on when the NBA season's wrapping up? Because usually NHL starts before the NBA and the regular season ends before. There must have been a 2 or 3 week Olympic break.
No idea.
Only thing I can, because that Olympics throws things for a fucking loop in the NHL.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
It's like, hey, everyone, we're done for 3/4 of a month.
This is my first year being into NHL hockey, so I'm not sure. I don't know.
That's had to have happened because,
but the Stanley Cup always is in the summer, isn't it?
Yeah, NBA's usually after it though, only by a week or two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's
that.
usually like halfway through July, around about NBA season ends or NBA playoffs
end of June. Yep.
Okay. I always remember because it was always around about the time people are branding calves because you help out all the neighbors and sometimes after branding and eating then you'd be like, we got to get home and watch the fucking basketball.
Yep. And right now, tonight, as we record this, was the last night of the regular season.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, NBA.
Little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, NBA Shooty Hoops playoff edition begins tomorrow.
Go Lakers.
Go Dunks. They are mathematically eliminated.
Oh.
Didn't even make the fucking play-in. They weren't even one of the top 10 teams out of the 15.
Yeah, I had read that.
Wow. It's one of the most remarkable, like, it's going to go down in history, which is, I like shit like that. Like, especially when it's the Lakers.
I was going to say, you just like to see the Lakers
even if it was
suffering.
a team I had no emotional connection, I like when shit like that becomes like at a historic level. Like,
I mean, last year they only made it into the first round of the playoffs and then got beat by the Suns. So it's not like they won it all last year and now they're not even in it. It's not that big a fall.
Was it last year though? I think Davis was out for pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing this year. It's just fucking LeBron wanted him to bring in fucking Russell Westbrook, and it was a gamble that blew up in their face.
Didn't work.
Yeah, wild to have like those three talents. There's so many Hall of Famers on that team. Granted, a lot of them are past their prime.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Are the T-Wolves going to get in? Do I have to root for the T-Wolves? Okay.
They're going to get in.
I don't want to, but I
For
will.
like the second time in your adult life, which is...
That's insane.
Think of that. In a sport where almost everyone makes the playoffs. That level of futility. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating. Since you've been able to legally drink alcohol, they've made the playoffs once.
Crazy.
That's nuts.
Bonkers.
Since they've never once won, since 1990 when they played their first basketball game, George Bush was in office. They have won a playoff series in one season.
Jeez.
Since their inception.
Looney Tunes.
Yep, that's been a rough run. Real rough run.
Playoff basketball is fun to watch, so I'm looking forward to it.
Damn right it is. All the dunks. During a kiss cam type thing.
Oh, right.
The Simpsons. That's a thing we sometimes talk about on this podcast when we're feeling up to it.
By the way, that offshoot started at Goro.
It did.
And ended with basketball.
Yeah. So, like, the whole family's into it. Bart's not, which I was that kid. I don't want to get up and dance on a camera in front of in a stadium.
I've never been on camera in a stadium.
I would not want to be.
Part of me desperately wants it.
Someday. And Homer notices Bart's not. He's like, Bart, get up and dance. He's like, no, I don't want to. No, come on, do it. No, just leave me alone. And then he starts tickling Bart and just tickling. Bart's like, stop. But and Marge's like, hey, don't quit doing that. He doesn't want you to do it. But he's laughing. He wouldn't dislike it if he wasn't laughing.
That's how tickling works.
You fucking dolt. And he tickles him until he fucking pisses his pants
on the Jumbotron.
And the fucking Jumbotron catches it. It goes viral, and they fucking crack open the dome so the sunlight will help dry his pants.
Unbelievable.
That was a good gag. Like, it's just like pretty much the fucking worst thing that could happen to a fucking 10-year-old.
I love Kent Brockman covering it the next day, talking about how the Russian prime minister saw the footage and took it as a sign of American weakness, and now a Russian flotilla is approaching New York Harbor.
And that's when it cuts off. We don't need to hear anything more. Oh, yeah, that was good. Marge recognizes that Homer fucked up. So she sees this as a chance to sign him up for like a fathering class. And the way to describe it, like
at the adult college or the counseling center or whatever.
We get, I think, who's all in the crowd there? Is Mr. Milhouse maybe?
Yeah, I think Van Houten is the only one that I recognize. The rest are like new and throwaways.
And we get a few quick jokes. But the main crux of it is Bart. They have Homer. Hey, Homer's new. Tell us, Homer, about this and that. And fucking Homer just casually tells a story that ends with him fucking strangling fucking Bart. And they're all just repulsed.
He mentions it so casually. So I'm strangling him the other day, and you know how, and they like, what?
And you mean like real? Like what do you mean? Like, oh, you know, like, yeah, you know, he just wasn't carrying on, this and that. And then he doesn't realize anything because he's adult and fucking...
Yeah.
He comes back the next week and no one's there except the therapist. He's like, Homer, we have an issue here, and he explains it to him. And it's kind of there's probably a name for this kind of therapy, But the goal is we want you to feel how small and powerless Bart feels when you do this to him.
Yeah, it's like role playing or role reversal. Like put Homer in Bart's shoes.
Kind of like to like shock him into like, feel how Bart feels. So that's what goddamn Kareem Abdul-Jabbar voicing himself.
Go Lakers. Yeah.
And he's like, Kareem here. When fucking Kareem puts on that like Homer skull cap and fucking they put the fucking Bart cap on Homer and it's endless. Hours of throttling. It's just endless choking. Like there's some very good sight gags where he's fucking playing Nerf basketball while choking Homer out.
So good.
Oh my God. Like the therapist, I think they met playing like YMCA basketball or something like that.
Yeah. Like, we play pickup basketball. Yeah. He even says, Kareem does when he first comes in, when I heard what you did to your son, I only scored 142 points.
Yeah. And the therapist, I had 86 assists.
So fucking funny. You recognize the therapist? Paul Rudd.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Almost kind of looked like him.
Yeah. Now that you know that, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that adds up. So he is fucking... It's very, very violent.
Yeah.
But, by God, it kind of works because we get Homer back at home and Bart does some dumb... Oh, he wants him to test it out first, which involves Bart just tossing some fucking eggs in like a carpet drying fan, which is just running. And the fucking eggs explode and just fling themselves at fucking Homer. Homer's just getting covered in raw eggs.
That scene is so good.
Yeah.
Bart just, with a smile, just casually just hucking eggs into that fan.
Oh. And eventually he can't take it anymore. He gets up to strangle Bart, and that's when he just collapses into a heap and has like a fit. He starts
he sees Kareem when he looks at Bart.
And Grandpa walks in. Oh, it's my boy's first stroke. That was a good gag.
Homer had a heart attack like 25 years ago on this show.
A stroke could take him out.
Yeah.
So what do you think Bart does with this knowledge? Becomes a complete fucking animal.
Becomes the worst he can be.
The worst, just absolute shithead is what my note says.
He casually rides that tractor into school.
The casualness of it. Like he's a part-time employee. Like, oh, this is my job this afternoon. And when Krabappel stops him, and how nonplussed she is by it. She's not screaming and hollering like... What do you think your father would have to say about this? Oh, I don't think he has a whole lot to say. In the door, they looked at he's in that classroom writing on the fucking chalkboard. Something.
Unbelievable.
It's like, and then once you're done cleaning my car, well, this is my car.
What'd you say? Yeah, Bart is the worst. Yeah. But just the image of him just riding that tractor.
Little straw hat. Yeah. Oh, so good. And just, and it just keeps going from there. And fucking Homer is now a mess. Yeah. Because Bart is destroying his life.
Having fucking night terrors.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah. Dreaming about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Marge sees something is off and she tries to get Bart some therapy with the same therapist, but the counseling center is closed. She finds out from a note on the door that the counselor's living under a goddamn bridge because he's forced to go live on the streets because no one can afford to pay for therapy.
It's the economy. He's living under the bridge with the rest of the luxury professionals.
That's what it is. Like wedding planners, one of them.
Sommeliers.
The sommeliers are coming and they're worried about them.
And they're like zombies almost.
They're like Tuscan Raiders.
Yeah. Fuck, that was funny.
Yeah, like pack up everything.
The sommeliers are coming.
Oh, yeah, that was good. And Marge still wants him to work with Bart, but he's not a part. He's like, hey, I'm just struggling to survive. She woos him with a can of beans. Like, I have a doctorate degree. And finally, it's like, are there any Franks in those beans? That's what wins him over.
I prefer beans with no Franks.
I probably do too. I enjoy both.
Yeah.
But of the two, I'd rather have just plain old baked beans.
I don't think I've ever had any like canned like baked beans style thing that isn't like Bush's baked beans.
Yeah.
Like I've never bought a can that says pork and beans on the side of it.
I've bought in that can, the Van Camp's pork and beans.
Okay. It's just baked beans, right?
Yeah, with fucking... Well, I'm thinking they make one that does have already pre-cut hot dogs in it.
Okay.
But then you're right, they do have their own pork and beans. That's just like a little bit of bacon with like...
Oh, like that little chunk? Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that comes in bushes also.
You know, it's a thing I miss as a kid. Just mixing some ground hamburger in with baked beans and stirring that up.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
It's
a
good.
lot of that.
Like fucking weird hobo chili.
Yeah, that's what my mom called it. Hold out your plate for weird hobo chili. Oh, boy. Real chunks of hobo, so you know it's good.
My favorite, my absolute preferred bean delivery method, cold straight out of the can like a hobo.
Oh.
Man, cold beans out of the can, so fucking
I won't
good.
blanch at that like some people would, but I prefer it more. But that makes total sense to
Sure.
me.
Like, same here. Like, I understand it, but like...
Being real.
Being real. Being real.
Being real.
I'll occasionally make some fancy... You've had my fancy beans when we were watching wrestling that one
just a bunch
night.
of fancy bean boys sitting around watching pay-per-view.
Beans with a bunch of stuff in it, and then you pour it over fucking cornbread muffins. Yeah.
A tasty treat.
I'm a fucking bean boy.
Bean boy.
Now I
always
want
said it.
beans.
Oh my God.
If you go get a burrito, what kind of beans do you want? Pinto beans or black beans in your burrito?
in a burrito, I'm not picky. I go
No beans, extra rice.
Oh, I want beans. If I'm being decadent, I probably take black beans.
I'm a black bean boy.
Yep, of
I'm
the
not a
two.
huge pinto bean person outside of baked beans.
Yep. So that's the bean that's used in baked beans, the pinto bean.
Yeah. Pretty sure.
They're
Or
just
a red
all-
bean maybe.
they're all
But
just-
I think it's pinto.
Dressed in sauce. They got they'll roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah,
fucking bean
that dog is
porn.
for sure dead.
Yeah, that dog's been stuffed for years. It's animatronic.
Man, there's so much fucking molasses and shit in a can of Bush's Best Baked Beans. There ain't no bean left in
Yeah,
there.
it's minimal bean and shit.
There is like per capita more calories than a fucking Twix bar.
Like a fucking devil's food cake. These beans are killing your family.
Beans is good.
They are tasty though. It's going to be bean weather. Summertime is bean weather where I'm from.
It's barbecue food. Yep. It's
it is.
picnic
It's
food.
outdoor food.
Yep.
Big old batch of beans.
I got beans in my fucking pantry. I could just
Don't-
eat a can of beans right now.
Don't fall for the siren's call of the beans. It's too late. You need your AM beans.
I hear the blaring of the bean horn.
It's calling me. The blaring of the bean horn. Now
You
don't
watch
want to
me
approach that.
calmly get up and take a can of beans into the gin tub, just never to be seen again.
Or just open it in your kitchen, hold a conversation, and pour it all down your head.
Right out of the can, no
That was like
spoon.
that big family can.
I'm just sipping on it.
Yeah.
Big like industrial can like you get at school.
He's like tilting his head way back.
He's gucking it down like a pelican.
This is clearly not the first time he's done this. So Marge convinces the counselor to take the gig. So he takes Homer and Bart out into the woods to do some kind of retreat and just to repair the relationship. During the retreat, it's, as you can imagine, he has all these kind of like trust games to set up. Of course, Bart, piece of shit.
Yeah, awful.
Fucking hurting Homer a lot. Very violent.
Blindfolded him, and now you direct Homer to get through the cacti, and he's just running him into him.
Yeah. And then the final game is fucking insane. Homer, you're going to climb into this tree with a noose and hang yourself. And there's a knife or a scissors right there.
Yeah.
And you just need to trust that Bart will cut you down. And Homer jumps, hangs himself, and fucking Bart is too busy sending a prank text to Moe.
Yeah,
I
we
am a
see him do
wiener.
that bit, but the prank call bit, but over text.
Yeah.
Why does Bart have Moe's personal cell phone
It
number?
doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Because he's that level of shithead.
Yeah.
And so fucking Homer's dying in front of our eyes, and fucking Bart can't be bothered. That's what finally triggers the counselor. He loses his shit and begins fucking throttling Bart.
Yeah, just strangling him.
His neck is so thick, it's like an oak.
I like that over the years, Bart has built up a strength of his neck.
And I'm assuming it's the therapist that finally cuts Homer down.
No, it's Bart.
Is it Bart? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And the counselor now doesn't know what to think. He's like, oh my God, like I see why you would do this. He's the worst child on earth. And basically Bart and Homer reconcile after the idea, like, we're going to sue him for all he's worth. He's like, Well, how about what are you gonna get? Like, I live under a bridge, and then cut to them Bart and Homer relaxing in the hollowed out tree that the fucking therapist. There's like a tiny tube TV on top of a box,
and his diploma hanging there
on the wall, on his bedroll, like a true homeless dude.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, sue me and take what? My hollowed out tree home?
And by God, they did.
Awesome.
And they're back. They're back to being kind of in a good relationship as much as they ever are, and all is well in the Springfield home.
Yeah, that one was fun. Like, not the best, but not the worst of the batch. I love all those stadium gags earlier on. It's so good.
That was classic Simpsons, where they're just throwing tons of visual gags while they're out somewhere different than the neighborhood.
Yep, exactly.
We're in a mall. We're in a stadium. We're in this. We're in that. We're at the fair.
Yeah, good classic Simpson jokes in there. I really love that while Homer and Bart and the therapist are out trying to fucking repair their friendship or relationship, Marge and Lisa have a gal's day where they sit at home eating ice cream, doing each other's nails, and watching sad horse movies.
The fourth one is so sad I can't bear to look at it.
Unbelievable. I refuse to say the title. Well, show me the cover. And she does, and Lisa starts freaking out.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Broke leg beauty and all these fucking names.
And then it cuts to them when they're having their get-together, like their little party. They're watching like a Shirley Temple one. I love you so much I don't even care if I can't see. And like the farmstead's on fire.
Yeah.
That's like, Jesus, this is bleak.
That's it, man. That's another batch of The Simpsons.
Very good batch.
Yeah, good all around. Yeah. Like some better than others. I think maybe if you made me pick one that is the worst, I think it's the Cheech and Chong one.
I think so too. I can say that
still
confidently.
Good. Yeah. Still good. Yeah. Good batch. Strong batch.
We've had batches where 4 of the episodes are the level of that Cheech and Chong episode. So.
This has been a strong season.
Yeah, last 2 groups, these last 10 have been very good.
Yeah, like I'm into it.
Yeah.
Season 22,
I would put ahead of season 21 so far.
Yep, I agree. Pretty hot. But we're not done yet. We're gonna wrap up season 22 next week.
Work nice and clean
already. Yeah, it does.
Does it? I figured it was gonna be close.
Shit. Yeah. Episodes 18 through 22, which is the end of season 22.
Works out beautifully.
And then a fresh start next time.
Season 23, world of possibilities.
Oh, my God. I love when that happens, and it's going to happen next week. Bonkers. I feel like we just started season 22, but we're going to end it next week. You and I are telling jokes this weekend, I think.
Not Thief River Falls. It's a town with more than one word. New Rockford.
That was last weekend. Because we're recording this in such a way. Oh. Nathan.
Way to pull
the curtain down. The Emperor ain't got no clothes.
Yeah. So it's the 23rd. We're somewhere in the upper Midwest, all right.
You and I are in Judd, North Dakota on the 22nd.
As far as we know, that's not made up.
And Lemoore, North Dakota on the 23rd.
Bought a car in Lemoore. Can confirm it's real.
I've been there. I have told jokes in Lemoore. So.
We both have concrete evidence. Judd might be a figment of our imaginations, but Lemoore is real.
I've seen the sign on the interstate that says Judd that-a-way, so
to lure tourists to their demise.
Yeah, absolutely. We're for sure wandering into a Texas Chainsaw Massacre situation,
some kind of
but
mythical.
That's fine.
He who walks between the rows type situation.
We've had a good run.
We've had a long enough run.
Can't wait to go meet the fucking Jeepers Creepers monster out there.
Well, he's gonna be bummed. These guys got high miles. I'm gonna use their organs. Can't even tell what these things are.
Oh God.
Is this a spleen?
Boy, being in such rough shape that a horror movie monster says no is pretty insulting.
I'll wait till the next full moon.
Listen, man, I'll disembowel the next fucking tourists.
It's gonna be like a fucking high school track meet bus coming through here eventually with their goods.
to have Freddy Krueger calmly sit you down and explain that your dreams aren't worth invading. Aw, Mr. Krueger.
I mean, I don't want you to feel bad, but like I can't use anything here, so if you could.
This is nothing good.
I hear a bus coming, so just chill out. Like, I'm so sorry I inconvenienced you.
All you dream about is fucking puffy Cheetos and what do the Teletubbies' genitals look like.
You're a very one-track-minded boy, and that's off-putting.
I'm gonna go. Yeah. Not even Jason wants you.
He's fucking dumb.
He'll stab anybody. He's a real fucking machete slut, but not you, boy.
That's a fucking Google search, machete sluts.
It's my favorite independent comic book. The Teletubbies reference was to our appearance on Joke Quest 200, which at this point came out a couple weeks ago, and you should go listen to it.
It's very funny.
Yeah, Nathan and I and our friend Josh DeLay and Joe Christensen and Josh DeLay on Joke Quest 200 from, at this point, a couple weeks ago. So go listen to that. I have listened to it 3 times. It's a very funny episode.
We have a lot of fun on there.
Like, I'm not tooting my own horn. Like, everyone's very funny on that show. So go listen to that. You and I will tell jokes, and we'll wrap up season 22 of The Simpsons next week. Fill up the gin tub, and we'll see you then.
Bye, everybody.